What do you think our biggest concern is facing our schools outside of funding, and how would you go about addressing that concern?
One of the biggest concerns that I see that I've been trying to get started in the schools is school governance councils. So we are mandated by the state of Connecticut to have school governance councils ever since, I don't know, maybe 2011, I believe it was. And we don't have that. We don't have it at the high school. The high school and the State Department of Education has reassured me since the beginning of this actual year, not the school year, the actual year, that we would have them in place. If we had school governance councils, they would provide for parents and community members to be elected to the specific schools, to be part of the budget process, to decide where funds should be allocated, to help shape policies before they go to the Board of Ed for voting on, and it would really create the engagement that we lack, and also contribute to kids having voices too. Because I know as a parent, I can ask kids, how's it going? And they will tell you a lot. You don't hear any of that at the Board of Ed meetings.
Thank you. Ms. Burgeon, you have 90 seconds.
Could you repeat the question, please?
What do you think our biggest concern is facing our schools outside of funding, and how would you go about addressing that concern?
So I think the well-being of our children is a great concern for most of us. So dozens of homeless children in the district. We feed children 3 meals a day. We give them breakfast, we give them a mid-morning snack, we feed them lunch, and we send food home. And it's looked at as an education issue. Well, actually, it's a community issue. These are our children. But that gets folded into what we must allocate money for. So children being fed, people need help with finding housing because we have dozens of homeless children. We have multilingual learners, so 13 languages spoken in the schools. That's a lot of different programs that we're talking about to meet mandates for learning to read. I think the complexity of what the community of New London looks like is not just decided by what activities we'd like to do or trying to expand spending on. I mean, these are really essential things. Kids come to school hungry. Scores aren't good when children can't learn because they're so hungry.
Thank you. Thank you. Ms. Hampe, you have 90 seconds.
I happen to agree with Karen that one of the things in the budget is so many things are put on the school, whether it be crossing guards, that's a public safety issue. Mental health is not limited to the buildings in our school system. Feeding the hungry when there are homeless people. When, like for instance, the before and after school programs, if they weren't grant funded, they had to be canceled. Teachers are stepping in to fill gaps, volunteering at the middle school, and you still, of course, have the sports in the high school. The crossing guards, another safety issue that has been in our budget, but at one time was in the city's budget. Now, the city did end up, after flat funding us, appropriating $65,000. By then, some of the crossing guards had gotten different jobs. Of the 6 that were there, only 1 replied yes. And that was because the job doesn't fit in a lot of people's, because it's 2 hours in the morning, 2 hours in the afternoon. So it's not that we just give up on that. The school is always trying to find creative ways to address it. And one of the things we're talking about now at the city is control barriers, traffic control barriers. Where do we need a physical person, and can we handle others with control barriers? And that's the end.
Thank you. Ms. Turner, you have 30 seconds.
So I guess as it pertains to the teachers, right? I haven't mentioned teachers yet today, and I have to say I go to the high school and teachers come running out and they say to me all the time, I come here at 6 in the morning, there's no lights on, there's light fixtures broken down, I don't have the tools to do what I need to do. My daughter goes to chemistry class, there's only enough materials for 3 groups and there's 4 groups, so they all don't get to do a lab in the same class. We get magnet funding. I'm not sure why we don't have enough to go around.
I think the biggest concern, we just had a presentation from all the administrative leaders at our schools at our last board meeting, and across the board, the biggest concern is that with less teachers, less administrators, there's more work for everybody in the building. And if a teacher is out or several teachers are out, it becomes impossible to do the good work that we need them to do. So we need the staffing. If we're going to lose more teachers, we're going to lose the ability to do what we need to do.
Since our district is 30% ESL, I would like to see translation services in our schools. It's very important. It's a state mandate, and right now we're using staff to translate instead. Very serious problem.